My name is John Raymond. I am probably the least likely person to work with gang members. I didn't know anything about gangs. I didn't really know anything about the inner city. I lived in an upper middle class area, and I had been kept pretty much away, or kept myself pretty much away from the gang members of our community. But God was tugging on my heart, and He opened the door for me to be a part of Hope Now for Youth. My job was to find jobs, to help these young men find employment. So as I began to work with gang members, I realized that I had a lot to learn. I really needed to understand them, to love them, to care about them, and to understand how to help them to find the right job in the right place. So I began to learn. As I began to work to find jobs for these young men, I realized that there was much that they had to learn as well. They had no experience in jobs. They didn't know how to work. They didn't know how to get up in the morning. There were many things that they didn't understand about having a job. And so I began to realize that I needed different kinds of jobs. I needed some jobs, like the hospital jobs, that were for more experienced young men, but I needed some simple jobs. And I realized that I really needed to have some help from the city of Fresno. So I met with the head of the Human Resources Department, and he set up a meeting for me with the department heads from all the different organizations, departments in Fresno. At that meeting, I poured out my heart and let them know how serious I thought the gang problem was. And when I finished pouring out my heart, they immediately said, "There's no way. We can't do this. We have unions, we have rules, we have problems. We can't hire gang members. That's too much to ask." And took me back for a moment, and I said to them, you know, if you're not willing to help, if you're not willing to take the lead and show the employers of this city the importance of hiring these young men, no one will do it. My job is hopeless if you're unwilling to help. I left that meeting without any encouragement. The next day, a woman, the head of the sanitation department, called me, and she said, "I was sitting there yesterday and I heard what you had to say, and I have 9 positions for Hope Now for Youth young men." What I found was that there are many people who care about young people and wanted to help. They simply didn't know how. But I realized that if I kept looking, I would find people who cared. And we did that. We found more than 300 businesses who cared. And I was able, through that period of time, to find jobs for over 1,000 gang members. In addition to helping young men with jobs, my role was to help young men with their lifestyle, to help young men to change their lives so that they wouldn't continue in the gang membership, to help young men to get off drugs. And I knew that we needed God's help for that. I knew that if they were really going to change, it needed to be from the heart. It wasn't just a matter of going to work every day. I knew that that wouldn't change a person's heart. And so I knew that God would play a role in these young men's lives. And He did that. I saw many young men who gave their lives to the Lord, gave their lives to follow Jesus Christ. It shows me again that young men who have a gang lifestyle, young men who live in poverty, young men who have committed serious crimes can change. Their lives can be changed, and it happens, of course, through the power of God. It happens with the help of jobs. It happens with the help of relationships with men who care. I'm thankful that I've had the opportunity to be a part of Hope Now for Youth. I'm thankful that I've had the opportunity to work with young men. They've changed my life and they've kept me young. And the last 3 years I've been volunteering because I love what I do. It's an opportunity to work with young men and to see their lives changed.
Hi, I'm Skin Mead, and I drew from these real-life events to create the characters in the screenplay Finding Hope Now. It really is an amazing story. You can become involved in 3 ways. Number 1, pray. Number 2, send this website to all of your friends. And number 3, become a financial partner. Help us make this movie.